Welcome to my channel, dear friends. Today I want to share something close to my heart. How to reduce household chores in simple ways, especially for those of us in our later years. Life has a way of filling our homes with things, and our days with tasks that can become overwhelming. But I have discovered that small changes rooted in minimalism can bring big relief. Over time, these practices have allowed me to reclaim energy, create peace at home, and focus more on what truly matters. You may find yourself nodding along as I share these ideas because they come from lived experience. Together, let us walk through the gentle path of simplifying daily chores. When I was younger, I thought having more meant living better. More dishes, more furniture, more clothes. It seemed like a sign of comfort and stability. But as the years went on, the upkeep became exhausting. Dusting endless shelves, washing piles of laundry, and searching through clutter drained my time and energy. I realized that what once felt like abundance had turned into a burden. This was the beginning of my journey into minimalism, and it taught me that less truly can mean more. By keeping only what we use and love, household chores naturally become lighter. One of the first changes I made was in the kitchen. Like many people, I had cabinets full of pots, pans, and gadgets that I hardly touched. They seemed useful at one point, but cleaning and storing them took more effort than I wanted. I donated most of them and kept only what I truly needed. Suddenly, preparing meals and washing dishes became so much easier. Instead of dreading cooking, I felt relaxed in my uncluttered kitchen. The beauty of this practice is that it also made my kitchen safer, with fewer items to stumble over or worry about. Laundry is another chore that often feels endless. Years ago, my closets were overflowing with clothes, many of which I didn't even wear. Choosing an outfit was stressful, and the laundry piles seemed to never shrink. I decided to reduce my wardrobe to pieces I loved, comfortable and practical for daily life. To my surprise, I no longer felt deprived. Instead, I felt free. Fewer clothes meant smaller laundry loads, quicker folding, and less stress overall. Minimalism turned laundry from a dreaded task into something much more manageable. Cleaning floors was always a challenge for me, especially as bending and lifting became harder with age. What made it worse was the number of small rugs and pieces of furniture scattered around my home. Each item required moving and cleaning, which left me exhausted. So I simplified my space, keeping only what was essential and easy to manage. The result was fewer obstacles, less dust, and a smoother cleaning routine. I noticed how much easier it was to keep my home tidy with fewer things in the way. This change brought not just efficiency but also safety. Paper clutter used to pile up quickly in my home. Old bills, receipts, magazines, and notes stacked high on tables. Sorting through them was a constant chore that I dreaded. One day I decided to create a simple filing system and go digital wherever possible. I kept only the most important papers in one easy-to-access place. Everything else was shredded or recycled. This not only reduced the amount of clutter but also saved hours of unnecessary sorting. Now, I no longer spend weekends battling paper mountains, and my home feels calmer. Minimalism also taught me to value quality over quantity. For years, I bought cheap cleaning tools that wore out quickly, leaving me frustrated. Eventually, I invested in a few sturdy items that made the work easier and lasted longer. Owning fewer but better tools meant less clutter and less waste. It also gave me confidence that the tasks I needed to do could be done more efficiently. This approach to quality simplified my routines and gave me peace of mind. A broom that lasts a decade is better than 5 that break in a year. Another big change came in how I handled daily meals. Cooking large, complicated recipes every day created too many dishes and too much stress. I learned to embrace simple, wholesome meals that required fewer ingredients and less cleanup. Preparing food became quicker, and washing up afterward was no longer a heavy chore. This shift also improved my health as I focused more on fresh, nutritious foods. Simple meals not only saved me time, but also supported my well-being. It was a lesson that simplicity can nourish both body and spirit. I also realized the power of routine in reducing chores. Instead of letting cleaning tasks pile up until they felt overwhelming, I created small daily habits. Wiping down counters after cooking, putting laundry away immediately, and decluttering as I went made everything easier. These little actions prevented big messes from forming. Over time, my home stayed clean with less effort. It taught me that consistency, even in small steps, makes life smoother. A gentle rhythm of daily care feels less like a burden and more like a gift to myself. Storage systems became another lifesaver. Before, I would shove items into drawers or closets without much thought, which only made it harder to find things later. I invested in clear containers and simple shelves that made everything visible and accessible. Suddenly, organizing no longer felt like a never-ending battle. Knowing where everything belongs reduced stress and saved me hours of searching. It also made tidying up much faster. With better storage, even my grandchildren could help, which lightened my load even more. Minimalism is not about stripping life bare, but about keeping what truly supports us. I still keep sentimental items, family photos, cherished gifts, and memories that warm my heart, but I no longer let possessions take over every corner of my home. By balancing what I keep and what I release, chores stay lighter while my spirit feels fuller. This harmony has become a guiding principle in my later years. It helps me honor the past while embracing the present. My home now feels like a reflection of peace, not a museum of things. Another hidden chore I hadn't noticed was decision fatigue. Each day I used to spend energy deciding what to wear, what to cook, and how to organize tasks. Minimalism reduced these choices by simplifying what I owned and how I lived. With fewer decisions, I felt less mental clutter. That freed up energy for more meaningful activities like connecting with loved ones or enjoying hobbies. The less I worried about small chores, the more joy I found in my days. Minimalism gave me space to breathe. Decluttering also taught me the value of letting go. At first, I felt guilty about giving away items that once cost money or held sentimental meaning. But I came to understand that those items were not serving me anymore. By donating them, I gave them a new life in someone else's hands. This made the act of decluttering feel lighter, almost joyful. Letting go reduced my chores while also lifting a weight off my heart. It reminded me that memories live in people, not in things. Even grocery shopping became simpler through minimalism. Instead of buying in bulk and crowding my pantry, I shifted to buying only what I needed for the week. This cut down on clutter and reduced the time spent organizing and cleaning my pantry. Fewer expired items went to waste, saving money as well. Shopping trips became quicker and less tiring. With a simpler pantry, cooking became easier, and cleaning the kitchen was no longer overwhelming. This small adjustment saved both time and effort. Seasonal chores like deep cleaning and reorganizing once took me days, leaving me drained. But after simplifying my possessions, those big cleaning sessions became much easier. With fewer items to move, clean, and store, I could finish in just a fraction of the time. It gave me more energy to enjoy seasonal activities I loved, like gardening or spending time outdoors. These moments brought joy instead of exhaustion. The freedom from heavy seasonal chores was one of the greatest gifts of minimalism. It made life gentler. As I grew older, safety became more important to me. Excess furniture and clutter created tripping hazards that made cleaning risky. By keeping only what was necessary, I created wider, clearer spaces in my home. This reduced my risk of falls and made moving around more comfortable. Cleaning became safer because I no longer had to bend around so many objects. It was not just about convenience, but also about protecting my health. Simplifying my home gave me peace of mind. Embracing technology also helped with chores. A robotic vacuum, for example, made sweeping floors effortless. Using reminders on my phone kept me on track with simple routines. Even paying bills online cut down on paper clutter and errands. Technology, when used wisely, supported my minimalist lifestyle. It allowed me to focus on meaningful activities instead of repetitive tasks. This balance of simplicity and modern tools brought harmony to my days. The emotional benefits of reducing chores were just as powerful as the physical ones. I no longer felt weighed down by endless tasks or surrounded by unfinished work. Instead, I felt calm, knowing my home was easy to manage. With more free time, I could enjoy hobbies like reading, gardening, and connecting with friends. The stress that once came from household chores faded into the background. Simplicity gave me space to live with joy and contentment. It was a priceless gift. Over time, I noticed how minimalism also saved me money. Fewer items meant fewer replacements, fewer repairs, and less waste. I could spend more on experiences instead of clutter. This financial freedom gave me security in my retirement years. It was reassuring to know I was living both simply and wisely. By spending less on things, I could invest more in my health and happiness. Simplicity brought not just peace but also stability.